Let's get into the first of 11 bowl games that we'll cover today. Let's start on Friday, December 16th. Let's start out of the country in the Bahamas. Let's go to Nassau for the Bahamas Bowl, 11:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. This game tends to be, there's some wild memories of bad beats and crazy games, and sometimes there's a lot of wind. And this game's 11:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Miami of Ohio takes on UAB. UAB 11 point favorite here, over under sitting at 44.5. I'll share my quick thoughts. One, I'm looking to fade the MAC in general. I thought it was a down year for the MAC overall, and I think this might be one of the years that they struggle in bowl games. Now, that's very matchup and motivation dependent, but it was just kind of an overarching thought that I had going into bowl season. That said, I'm not really in love with laying double digits in bowl games, especially early on in these meaningless ones. Been a unprofitable proposition historically, about 40% against the spread in those double-digit favorites going back 30 years in meaningless bowls. And if you strip away the college football playoff and championships, if you just bet every money line underdog that's a double-digit dog in bowl season, I mean, $100 better would be up about, I think, $3,000 since 2005. ROI about 38%, because a lot of times it's just okay. There's a lot more variance. Big favorite doesn't show up, as we talked about, and they go down. But I can't get behind Miami of Ohio here. I think it's UAB or nothing. I think UAB is a bit undervalued still because they had to play a bunch of games without Dylan Hopkins. They also went 0-5 in one possession games, 3 of those in which Jacob Zeno started. Conversely, Miami of Ohio had 4 one-possession wins, all against non-bowl teams, just to get to 6 wins. And their other 2 wins came against Robert Morris and Akron. So it wasn't the best resume you'll ever see. Their star quarterback, Brett Gabbert, is out. And they haven't been able to run the ball all year. Now, their backup quarterback is mobile. He's going to have to run here because you can't really throw on UAB. You have to attack them on the ground. But I'm not sure that Miami of Ohio is that team that can do that against UAB. Miami of Ohio is one of the most anemic rushing attacks in the country. And yeah, I mean, Miami of Ohio's run defense is better than their pass defense, but Dwayne McBride and company, one of 2 offenses that average over 6 yards per carry this year. I think he'll do enough on the ground to set up some explosive passes that Hopkins can hit. So, yeah, I think it's UAB or nothing. I think that, they do have an interim coach. They hired Trent Dilfer, but it's a veteran group. They fought hard down the stretch to get to bowl eligibility. And so, yeah, I'm leaning UAB here. Pools, I would go all UAB if you just need to pick a straight up winner. Maybe a nice money line parlay piece, but maybe you'll make a case for the Red Hawks here. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking over the schedule. I was waiting to see who you'd pick between a MAC and an ACC team, since we're looking to fade all of them in the bowls. The number's a little bit too high. Like it just, all things equal, that's, we start our handicap with the power rating, but then we work our way into it. So to say that the number should be about 9.5 and not 11. So if you can gut it and just take it blindly, you would. Both these teams should be highly motivated coming in. Chuck Martin's in his 3rd bowl game. He won the Frisco Bowl with Miami of Ohio last year. Team's amped about not just getting to a bowl, but going to a warm vacation destination. And Stuck mentioned Trent Dilfer, but there's a lot of things going on internally there. These players wanted Bryant Vincent, the interim coach, the offensive coordinator, who's been there since Bill Clark revamped the program, came back from the dead. The players wrote letters to the administration. They wanted Bryant Vincent to be the head coach. They didn't listen. They went with Trent Dilfer, and now you have Trent Dilfer coming out in the press, and he's like, I'm running coffee for the coaches, I'm picking up pads for the players, I'm doing everything I can to help this program secure a bowl victory. So I don't think there's any drama there, but the players really want to play for Bryant Vincent here. It'll be the last time that they'll get to play underneath him. And so you think that this is a highly motivated spot for UAB, and Stuck is right. You can't really pay attention to the Blazers numbers because they were without their star quarterback Dylan Hopkins for a few games, or we had to suffer through Zeno and turnovers. But the problem with UAB is their defense has struggled this year with dual threat quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels went for 111 on the ground. Frank Harris at UTSA had 35 on the ground. Those were escaping in 3rd downs. But more importantly, Liberty, Caden Salter went for 79, a touchdown back in week 2 on this UAB defense. It's just been a problem all season. And Avion Smith is the dual threat quarterback that's going to get the start here for Miami. And he's going to get a couple extra first downs. He's going to extend 3rd down. So That is something I would be looking for. The question is, can the Miami of Ohio defense, you really don't want to bet on a MAC defense, but can they stop Dwayne McBride? Probably not. Miami of Ohio is top 10 defensive and opponent rush explosiveness, thanks to linebacker Matthew Salopik. But I don't know. You're kind of rolling the dice here with this defense being able to contain this UAB rushing attack. The 15-mile-an-hour winds is why this total is down. Should be about 47, but the number's down to 43.5. Not much of a passing game coming from out of these two teams. So, UAB never covered away from home this year. That's in the back of my mind. Like, they're going to be motivated. They have the statistical advantage. They never covered away from home, and they have trouble with dual threat quarterbacks. So I'm back and forth on this. In a pool, like if you had to pick a team with the spread, I would take Miami of Ohio. I still might take them. If you're in a straight up pool, I agree with Stuck. You're taking UAB and laying some points like we did in the confidence pool piece. But I think Miami double digits is the play. Probably going to be worth, I don't know, one of those half units or one of those, just roll back the rubber band and throw $100 at it. But Miami of Ohio would be the play for me.
Yeah, Miami is also, they're going to be missing a couple offensive linemen who hit the transfer portal, which is worth noting. But you're right, they did struggle with mobile quarterbacks, which could be the best path for Miami Ohio offense. And, double digits is tempting with a total this low. I will say that I don't really get involved in unders, or I try not to. I have a bit, but unders that are under 45 or 45 or lower, it's tough in bowl season. I mean, historically, if you just bet every over that was 45 or below, you're at about 57% in bowl season. And I think the reason for that is that sometimes the number might be right based on the team's profiles, but this is a bowl. Like, a lot of times teams will play a lot looser in a meaningless bowl. So you'll have, more fourth downs. You'll see some trick plays. Why not just throw everything in the kitchen sink out there? Which is why it's tough, I think, to go under on these totals that are below 45.